Yes, good morning children to standard 8. So, you have studied about first chapter. So, now we are going to explain you about second chapter, all around us. What is all around us? All around us means there are four main parts on the earth: lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. How did it come? First, it is said that after the collation of some part of the sun which was collation and some parts were was very hot, and after slowly it became cooling part. So you know about our planets. There are 8 planets on the earth. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, which are 4 internal planets which are we are close to the sun, and there is life existence on the sun. On the life is not existence on Mercury, Venus, because it is very close to the sun and it is very hot. And to other parts, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, they are very far from the sun. That part which formed was very far away from the earth, so it cooled down and there is no life on this earth. It is only the dark planet we can call them. So life is existence on the earth. Some part which is formed solid part and some part liquid form it was there, and that is called water form. Atmosphere, and some parts atmosphere जो gaseous form it became gaseous air atmosphere. And some biosphere. Biosphere means born trees and all were their existence, and human life came into being. Non and living things. Living things means nature which has given that is called living things, and non-living things which are man-made, they are called non-living things. So I will explain you on the screen, just you will watch this.
In this module, you will learn about the lithosphere that forms one of the important domains of the Earth. The lithosphere is the solid part that forms the outermost shell of the Earth.
So lithosphere is the solid part, forms the outer part, shell of the earth.
It is made up of rocks and thin layers of soil that sustain organisms. The lithosphere covers the entire Earth's surface. From the top of the Mount Everest, which is the highest point on the Earth, to the bottom of the Mariana Trench, which is the deepest point on the Earth. The Earth's surface is very uneven. There are high mountain ranges, plains, and plateaus, and deep valleys that form the ocean floor. Then, how is the height or depth of land on Earth measured? The height of land can greatly vary from one place to another. But the level of water in the oceans remains the same everywhere. This level is referred to as the sea level. The sea level is considered to be zero. The elevation of the land is then measured keeping the sea level as reference. Mount Everest is 8,848 meters above the sea level, and the Mariana Trench is 11,022 meters below the sea level. Thus, the depth of the sea is much more than the highest peak of the earth.
So you have the depth of the sea is much more than the height of the peak. Peak is called a mountain. Highest point of the mountain is called peak. So you have studied here. You studied about the landforms. Some are mountains, some are plain areas, some are sea levels. So these all are different landforms.
Almost two-thirds of the Earth's surface is occupied by huge water bodies that are connected to each other. These water bodies are called oceans.
Huge water bodies that cover almost two-thirds of the Earth's surface are called oceans.
The remaining one-third of the Earth's surface has large land masses called the continents. There are in all 7 major continents. They are Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia and Antarctica. Most of these continents are separated by large water bodies. The Earth is divided into 4 hemispheres: northern, southern, western and eastern. If you observe the map of the world, you will notice that most of the land masses lie in the northern hemisphere. Hence, the northern hemisphere is called the land hemisphere. On the other hand, most of the southern hemisphere is occupied by water. Hence, the southern hemisphere is called the water hemisphere. Let's look at the continents of the world one by one. We'll begin with the world's largest continent, Asia. Asia covers about one-third of the total land area of the Earth. A large part of Asia is located in the northern and the eastern hemispheres. The Tropic of Cancer, the Equator, and the Arctic Circle pass through this continent.
See, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Arctic Circle passes through this Asia.
The continent to the west of Asia is Europe. It is separated from Asia by the Ural Mountains. However, there is no water body separating Europe and Asia. Is located on this continent. The world's longest river, the Nile, also flows through Africa. North America is the 3rd largest continent in the world. It lies in the northern and western hemispheres. The lithosphere is the solid part that forms the outermost shell of the Earth. It is made up of rocks and thin layers of soil that sustain organisms. About 1/3 of the Earth's surface is made up of large land masses called continents. The remaining 2/3 of the Earth's surface is covered with large water bodies called oceans. We can determine the elevation of any piece of land by measuring its elevation from the level of the sea. Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak on the Earth. New Zealander Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay from Nepal were the first climbers to reach the peak of Mount Everest in 1953. The Mariana Trench in the Pacific Ocean has the greatest depth found on the Earth. The depth of the deepest point in the sea exceeds the height of the highest peak on the Earth. There are 7 major continents: Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, South America, Australia,